When you attack the enemy king, that is called check. Check my king by moving your queen to d4. Now my king is in check by your queen. I can, however, move it to safety. In fact, I'm obliged to. My king is no longer under attack, and therefore is no longer in check. Move your queen to d8 to check my king again. Again, my king must move to safety. Now my king is out of check. To win chess, you checkmate my king. That means attacking my king while leaving him no way to get to safety. Move your queen to f8. My king is attacked by your queen, and he has nowhere safe to go. That's checkmate. You win. It's not checkmate if the attack can be blocked. Move your bishop to c3. My king cannot run to g7 since it would still be under attack from your bishop. My only option is to block the check. You can capture my rook on g7 and put my king in check again. I can address the attack on my king by moving to a safe square or capturing your bishop. There are three ways to respond to check: move to safety, block the attacking piece, or capture the piece delivering the check. My bishop is checking your king, but you have many ways to block the check. One good way is to block with your knight. That's it. Now your king is safe. Let's look at another example. My rook is checking your king. What move should you make to get out of check? Well played. Knights are powerful checking pieces. Check my king by moving your knight to f4. The knight's check can never be blocked, and I can't capture your knight, so my king must move. Check my king again on e2 using your knight. Again, I must respond to the knight check by either moving the king or capturing the offending knight. Since the knight moves and attacks by jumping, there is no way to block. I captured your knight, getting my king out of check. Your king can avenge your knight. Your knight fought well. With two rooks, you can checkmate by cutting off my king's escape one row at a time. Play your rook to b7 to see what I mean. My king is in check. It is not checkmate yet since my king can run to g8 or h8. One of your rooks attacks the 7th rank. Now seal my king's fate by putting your other rook on the 8th rank. What you just did is called the ladder checkmate. If you have two rooks, or a rook and a queen, this is a good way to close out the game. Another common checkmate is called the kiss of death. Your queen delivers the fatal peck in person. Move her to b7. Checkmate. My king cannot capture your queen because it is protected by your king. There is no safe square for my king to escape to, nor is there any way for me to block the attack of your queen. It is illegal to put yourself in check. Sometimes the consequences of this rule can be surprising. Capture my pawn on d4 using your queen. My knight would love to capture your queen. However, that would put my own king in check. So my knight can't move, and you got my pawn for free. Exposing one's own king to check is illegal. Let's see another application of this principle. Move your knight to g6. Believe it or not, this is checkmate. My pawn on h7 cannot capture your knight, because that would expose my king to check from your rook, and my king cannot escape to g8 because of your bishop. Can you find a safe square to check my king? You found it. My king is now in check and your rook is not in danger of capture. Can you find a move that safely checks my king? That's it. My king is now in check and I cannot capture your knight. Do you see a move that safely checks my king here? Good. This is a safe square for your bishop to check my king. Can you find a safe square to check my king with your queen? Bravo! This is a safe square which checks my king. Now it is your king that is in check. Do you see the move that escorts him to safety? That's it. This square is safe from my pieces. Let's try some checkmates. Here, you have a queen while I have nothing but my king. Do you see how to win immediately? Bullseye. Now you have a rook, and again I have nothing but my king. Do you see the checkmate here? Nicely played. You won't often encounter situations like this in a typical game, but it's a good exercise. Do you see the bishop move that is checkmate here? It's nice to see the bishops working together. A pair of pawns doesn't seem like much, but it's enough. Good job. Chess players will say mate in one if they can checkmate in a single move. Can you find the mate in one? Indeed. My king is now checkmated. My rook cannot block this check from your bishop because that would expose my king to your rook's attack. What is the best move in this position? Checkmate. My king has nowhere to run. None of my pieces can block the check, nor can I capture your queen. Two of your pieces are looking at one of my pawns. Why? Checkmate. My king cannot capture your queen because it is protected by the bishop. You can checkmate here, but look carefully before you move. Kudos. My king is checkmated because it does not have a safe square to run to, nor can I capture your knight. There isn't a checkmate here, but a powerful check. Do you see it? That's it. My king is in check, and the only way to stop the check is to block with the queen. Your move. Playing without my queen will be a crippling disadvantage. You're in check. What should you do? That's it. My rook that was checking your king could simply be captured. You are in check. How will you respond? That's an excellent response. Occasionally, we can resolve checks by simply capturing the offending piece. Do you see how to win the game in this position? Well played. This configuration with the knight and rook is called the Arabian mate. How should you respond to my check? That's it. Here it is best to run with the king. Blocking the check would lose your rook for nothing. All right, let's do one last exercise. This is your final test, and it's a little tricky. Look for the check that wins. Checkmate. The pawn on e7 cannot capture the knight because it would expose the king, which is not allowed. Congratulations on completing this lesson.